Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the It's Okay Kid podcast, your weekly dose of clarity and self-discovery. So this week's episode, I want to talk to you about sobriety, giving up alcohol. So it's that time of year where everybody's coming out the funk of last year. They've drank too much over Christmas and they make these radical decisions. That's it, I'm checking out, I'm not drinking ever again. So I've got a wee bit of different take on that. Don't get me wrong, if you're drinking too much and it's ruining your relationships, this podcast episode is not for you. I'm talking about people that have drank a wee bit too much and they're making crazy decisions that they're never going to stick to. I'm going to give you a few tips that will help. So I'd done this last year. I wasn't where I wanted to be and I decided I was going to give up drink for 100 days. My friend Neil had done it previously and I just thought, that was a good landmark, that was a good distance to try and kickstart my year. So I'd done that. Where I fucked up was, I never had a plan for coming out the 100 days. So when the 100 days was up, I just reverted back in. I gave up the drink, I just reverted back into my old habits, drinking. Now, as I got older, my fucking hangovers, I'm out the game for a week. So if I drink, if I go on a night out with my friends, I always take it too far and then I'm knackered for that week. So I bring a couple of things in where I start planning better. So I do one or two things, to-do lists to get me through that week. But I was spending like half the year fucking hungover when you were counting up the amount of weeks. And I was just like, I can't do this anymore. So I gave up for 100 days, which was great, felt great. But like I said, I never made a plan for moving forward. I'm doing the opposite this year. I'm not restricting myself, but I know if I have any more than 6 pints or 6 drinks, I'm out. I'm out for the whole night. Lisa's got the same. We've got the same muscle. Once we get to a certain stage, it's like fucking hell. The shackles are off and we're going for it. So that's what I've done this year. 5 or 6. Don't get me wrong. World Cup year, I get it. Scotland. When Scotland get to the final, I'll be having more than 6 pints of lager. But that's what I've done. I've made a plan for this year. At the start of this year, I had just made my goals and no more. But deep down, that wee voice inside my head was saying, you can do more. And I know I can do more. But the drink was holding me back. I fucked a couple of weekends up. With Lisa as well, we'd made plans. And I wasn't showing up as my best self. I was showing up, I was there, it was all right. But ultimately, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. So this year, I'm putting a limit on it. I'm going to be posting more podcasts. I've got loads more important stuff in my life that I want to be doing. So they'll just need to take a back seat, everything else. That being said, I'm going out tonight. This is my first test. My godson's playing at King Tut's in his band, All Sorts, shout out. So I'm meeting my mate and his missus in the town. I'm having 5 pints. I'm going a wee bit later. I'm having 5 pints, 5 drinks, and then I'll be leaving straight after the gig to come home. And that's another tip. I've got these new goals. I never ran a marathon last year because I was injured. I'm trying to drop a wee bit of weight now. So you need to book something in the very next day that's exciting, something to look forward to. So I'm trying to get in shape, doing a wee bit of trail running. So I'm going to run tomorrow morning and I'm going to start posting my journey on social media. So I've committed to that. It's on the fridge, so I need to do it. And that's a tip for you. See if you are going out, have something the next day that excites you, that you know. Because in the past, and you'll know it yourself, I've says, I'm just going to go and have a couple tonight. I'm just going to have a couple. And then you start to get in the flow and a couple leads to 5, 6, 7. And before you know it, you're steaming and you miss what you had planned in the next day because you're fucked, you're hungover. So you need to be really honest, and that's step number 1. Be honest where you are, be clear what you want to do. Now last year, this is another thing, last year I says I was giving up the drink for 100 days. My mates were like that. There's fucking no chance that you'll do that. There's no chance you'll do that. I was like, well, I've done it before. When I used to fight, when I used to train, I gave up drink for 8 weeks. I've done it a good few times. And they're like that, that was then, this is now. You'll never do that. And that's fine. Other people can think what they want, right? They're your friends. They're there for a bit of banter. You need to be very, very clear, and this time I meant it. And that's the thing. I've said I'm going to have been out for a couple. You need to be very clear and be honest with yourself. Can you really do this? Because your peers and your mates, although they mean well, think you won't, for one, because they're used to you drinking. Now, I'm from Scotland. 100% of my mates drink. 100%, well, not 100%, but quite a lot of my social interactions is meeting up for a few drinks, catching up. We do the occasional hill because I'm of that age. We walk up the occasional hill, but a lot of the stuff is centred around drink. So it's very, very difficult if you're going out to have your plan and to stay strong. It's not up to them to help you chase your goals. It's up to you. So you need to be clear, but there is a few things you can do. Now, the 0% beers saved my life. When that 100 days, I wasn't drinking loads of them, but every time I went out, I had a beer in my hand. I never get involved with rounds because my mates go for it. I just stayed in my own lane, had a few 0% beers, and that got me through it. The same I'll apply. I'm not getting involved in rounds. I'll have 4 or 5 pints and then I'll go up the road. And that's the thing. Here's the key thing. They'll always try to keep you out. You like your mates, you have good banter together, they'll always try and keep you out. The biggest thing for me was FOMO, the fear of missing out. I thought once I left, this amazing event was going to happen and I was going to miss out on it. And I'd see it the next day in the group chat. Fuck, it never happens. If you think about every night out, nothing good happens between the hours 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning. It fucking doesn't. So you need to have a plan. The biggest thing that will happen to you is trying to leave. Getting your ass up and leaving. See, once you're through the door, take it from me, the weight comes off your shoulders and you need to just leave. Stick to your plan. You feel better the next day. You might be a wee bit fuzzy, but you commit, and whatever you've planned for the next day, you do it, and then it's confidence starting. Once you start building that muscle of having a plan, sticking to it, you know, then it just becomes natural, and then your mates know that this is what you're doing, so you don't get any hassle because they're going, fuck, he's serious, so we'll just leave him. We'll just let him do what he wants to do, come out, connect, get your kind of social events in with your friends, and then leave. So that's what I wanted to talk about, because there's a lot of people, it's either one extreme or the other. And I get it, because I wasn't being my true self last year and I wasn't going after what was really important, and I had to prioritise and start putting things in order. And that's not to say that I will only be steaming this year. I probably will. Scotland are in the World Cup. I do a yearly event with my pals in Edinburgh every year, but that's at the end of the year. This time, it'll give me a good kickstart into the year, and you don't need to cut people off. You don't need to cut alcohol off if it's not serving you. But what you do need to do is you need to have a plan and you need to stick to it. It's hard in the first couple of months or the first couple of weeks, but once you start getting used to it, it builds that confidence in you. You are the type of person that makes a commitment and sticks to it, and you start feeling better within yourself. Also, while we're doing that, we're working on our mind and we're working on getting in shape. Because see, once your mind's in shape and your body's in shape, you feel great. And then that gives you the confidence to know that you're the type of person that does what they say they're going to do. So that's my take for this week, because you'll be hearing a lot of this stuff, but that's just my take. Hopefully some of these tips have helped you, but these are going to be coming thick and fast this year. Well, no thick and fast, they're going to be coming every week. I know I was sporadic last year, and this is why I put this video out. That is the reason why. But I'm going to be posting, I think it's going to be every Sunday night. So every Sunday night, every week. One of my goals is this year is to do the 50 videos this year. I'm going to surpass that. My goal last year was to do 11, and I kind of hit that before Christmas, and then kind of fucked about because I had nights out, drinking, etc, etc. So they're going to be coming every week. We're going to be getting guests on this year. Friend of the show, Lee Mackay, is back from Thailand, so I'll be getting him back on. He's got some great stories, as he's promised. And yep, so that's it, first one of the year. Hope these tips help you, and let's have a great year. Cheers.